Hello, and let me warmly congratulate Kumamoto City for the launch of the Kumamoto Education Week. It's a great way to bring the world's knowledge and insight to your region, and at the same time to contribute to help advance the world's knowledge on education. And of course, Kumamoto has a long history of engaging with the global education community. For us at the OECD, it's been a particular privilege to have Kumamoto join the OECD Education 2030 hub of experimental schools. And I still remember my own visit to you and the conversation I had with students over lunch. It was so meaningful to listen to the voices of students and to learn about the cultural experience of Kyoshoku. I could see firsthand how you bring the local school culture and also ethos in line with what the Japanese curriculum is actually designed to achieve, no? To enable students help each other and to gain life skills. In Kumamoto, I also learned how you can get ahead of the technologies of our time, something which is so crucial in the time of this pandemic. At Hokubo Middle School, students were using tablet computers to record their lab experiments and to take pictures of the plants they were growing to track how they were developing. It was a great example for how technology can be used to transform pedagogical practice, not simply conserve traditional teaching. And it seemed the whole of Japan is now following you, with the Ministry of Education putting together the large Giga school project on technology in schools. I think those developments hold a lot of promise. Virtual reality is becoming big, and that's no surprise. No? Why should students read about the results of an experiment when they can actually do that experiment in a virtual laboratory, no? Like you do here? Spending on artificial intelligence is growing fast too, and then robotics, blockchain technologies may all be next. The most visible benefit of technology is greater personalization and a more active approach to learning, sometimes that we always highlight in our Education 2030 project. While you study math on a computer, that computer can now study you and how you learn math, and then make your learning experience so much more granular, so much more adaptive, so much more interactive. We've seen more progress in the few months of the pandemic than in many years together. And the time of the pandemic is also the time where you see less reform, but more change. Around the world, we're also seeing big leaps in assessment and exams. Whether you talk about assessments through simulations, hands-on assessments in vocational settings, or machine learning algorithms starting to score essays. The time of multiple choice bubble sheets is over, and 21st century learning and assessment are becoming truly integrated. And learning analytics holds great promise too, and that's where artificial intelligence comes in. It gives teachers a real sense of how different students learn differently, where students get interested and where they get bored, where they advance and where they get stuck. It can also give teachers a better sense of how they can structure learning time and which students need extra support. But technology is only as good as it's actually used. As you can see here, often teachers still don't have the necessary technical and pedagogical skills to integrate digital devices into instruction. And that's a particular issue in disadvantaged communities that I've marked here by a red diamond. You can see even in a high-tech country like Japan, the majority of teachers don't feel yet ready for the technology that is around. So it's going to be very important to better support teachers in becoming not just users of technology, but to become designers of innovative learning environments. It's probably also a matter of how we are organizing learning and teaching at school. In Japan, just 1 in 10 school principals agree that teachers have sufficient time to prepare lessons, to integrate digital devices. The challenge needs to be addressed in a comprehensive way, not simply by changing sort of work schedules. So while you have been so successful in Kumamoto, there are still lots of things to do. And I look forward to our future collaboration on the exploratory journey with the OECD Education 2030 project. Together, we can reimagine learning systems, accountability systems, the work organization in school, so that students learn for their future, not our past.